Hello there, I'm Nadia Azmi and this is Nightline, news making the headlines. MH122 passenger to be charged after causing flight disruption. And father slapped with 702 years in prison for raping daughters. Good morning. A man was arrested by Australian Federal Police AFP after causing disruption on board Malaysia Airlines flight MH122 soon after takeoff from Sydney International Airport on Monday. In a statement, the AFP said the 45-year-old passenger was detained by authorities without incident and was expected to be charged soon. According to the statement posted on AFP's website, all MH122 passengers have been evacuated from the aircraft and there was no impending threat to the community. The AFP added that it will not divulge operational matters but said an emergency response plan was enacted and an evacuation was initiated once it was deemed safe for passengers and crew. Videos posted on social media by individuals who claim to be on board flight MH122 showed crew members trying to calm the man down after he began shouting at other passengers. Malaysia Airlines in a statement earlier said MH122 departing from Sydney to Kuala Lumpur had to turn back mid-flight due to a disruptive passenger on board. The flight carrying 199 passengers and 12 crew on board landed safely at Sydney International Airport at 3:47 p.m. local time. The airline added that passengers and crew completed disembarkation at 7 p.m. and the aircraft will be thoroughly inspected by police. It also said that MH122 passengers would be transferred to the next available flight after obtaining clearance from authorities. It was also reported that scores of domestic flights to and from the airport were cancelled or delayed due to the incident. Junior Assemblyman Datuk Seri Muhammad Sanusi Mat Noor was sworn in as Kedah Menteri Besar early Monday. The 49-year-old, who is State Perikatan Nasional PN Chairman, took the oath of office before the Sultan of Kedah, Al-Aminul Karim Sultan Salahuddin Sultan Badlisha at Istana Anak Bukit in Alustar at 10:15 a.m. Datuk Seri Muhammad Sanusi was reappointed Menteri Besar following PN's win in the state election on Saturday when it won 33 out of the 36 seats in the Legislative Assembly. The ceremony was witnessed by Alustar High Court Judge Datuk Mior Hashimi Abdul Hamid and Chief Sharia Judge Datuk Sheikh Abdul Rahman Abdullah. Also present was Kedah State Secretary Datuk Sri Norizan Kazali. After the ceremony, Datuk Seri Muhammad Sanusi said the state's EXCO leadership lineup would be a combination of new and old faces. The administration will also focus on the Kedah Development Plan 2035.
Lepas itu parti akan pencadangkan nama, saya akan tengoklah. Saya nak line up tu berupaya menterjemahkan plan Kedah 2035. Dalam tempoh 5 tahun ataupun 4 tahun ni, EXCO yang dilantik itu mesti ada keupayaan khusus untuk menjayakan plan Kedah 2035.
Four-term Sikamat Assemblyman Datuk Seri Aminuddin Harun was sworn in as Menteri Besar of Negeri Sembilan for the second term on Monday. The State Pakatan Harapan Chairman took the oath of office, loyalty and secrecy before the Yang di-Pertuan Besar of Negeri Sembilan, Tuanku Muhriz Ibni Almarhum Tuanku Munawir at Istana Besar Seri Menanti at 4:15 p.m. During the swearing-in ceremony, Tuanku Muhriz in his speech also reminded all newly elected assemblymen to act in the best interest of the state and deliver the best services for the people.
Namun, pada penggal lepas, terdapat pihak yang cuba untuk menggugat kestabilan kerajaan tanpa sebarang sebab yang munasabah. Sebaliknya, hanya bermotifkan kepentingan peribadi. Sedarlah bahawa tindakan seperti ini tidak mendatangkan sebarang kebaikan. Malah ianya menyebabkan pentadbiran negeri terjejas dan rakyat menjadi mangsa.
Also present were the State UMNO Liaison Committee Chairman Datuk Sri Jalaluddin Alias and the state leadership from PH and Barisan Nasional. Meanwhile, Datuk Sri Aminuddin said the appointment of 10 state executive councillors in Negeri Sembilan, which will be a blend of old and new faces, will be finalised as soon as possible after discussions with PH and BN within this week. Speaking at a press conference after the swearing-in ceremony, the Menteri Besar said discussions could be held as early as Tuesday before the list of EXCO members is finalised and announced.
Inilah satu kerajaan yang orang melihat seluruh negara. Nampak keseimbangan dia lebih kurang berbanding yang lain. Dan saya berharap bahawa ini akan kita tunjukkan bagaimana pentadbiran, kesungguhan kita nak kita buktikan kepada tempat lain, negeri-negeri lain bahawa ini adalah pasukan yang boleh diharap, pasukan yang mampu membuat perubahan, pasukan yang mampu bekerja bagi memastikan hak rakyat dan juga pembangunan itu diutamakan.
Datuk Seri Aminuddin added the Yang di-Pertua Dewan Undangan Negeri, Zulkifli Muhammad Omar, would also continue to carry out his duties until the oath-taking ceremony for EXCO members is held. Former Federal Court Judge Tan Sri Sulong Mat Juri will lead the Board of Governors of Sarawak's Sovereign Wealth Fund. Sarawak Premier Tan Sri Abang Johari Oping said the State Cabinet has approved Tan Sri Sulong's appointment as well as 8 other members of the board, comprising finance and investment experts and professionals. In unveiling the board on Monday, the Premier said besides Tan Sri Sulong, others in the board are Limar Group Chairman Tan Sri Leonard Linggi Juga, former Petronas Chairman Tan Sri Ahmad Nizam Saleh, former Shell Malaysia Chairman Dato' Ian John Low, Grain Duli, Musid Fahmi, Permodalan Nasional Berhad Director Dato' Sudirman Aini, Sarawak Attorney General Dato' Sri Talat Mahmud Abdul Rashid and State Financial Secretary Dato' Sri Wan Lizosman Wan Omar. Tan Sri Abang Johari said Tan Sri Sulong has more than 30 years of legal and judicial experience and served with the Sarawak government for 17 years in various capacities.
I believe the diverse and extensive experiences and strong credentials of these distinguished professionals will be invaluable and of great advantage to the fund moving forward in achieving its objective. Upon finalizing their appointments, we target the fund to commence in 2024, having put in place all the structural and governance framework.
He said the state government aims for the fund to commence in 2024 after structural and governance frameworks are put in place. Sarawak is setting up a sovereign wealth fund with an initial amount of 8 billion ringgit to strengthen the state's financial sustainability. On November 22nd last year, the State Assembly unanimously passed the Sovereign Wealth Future Fund Board Bill 2022. The Kuala Lumpur High Court was told on Monday that the aim of the One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB task force set up in 2015 was not to unseat Datuk Sri Muhammad Najib Tun Razak as the then Prime Minister. Former Bank Negara Malaysia PNM Governor Tan Sri Dr. Zeti Akhtar Aziz said the task force was established to probe allegations of wrongdoing made against the Sovereign Wealth Fund and to recover 1MDB's money. According to Tan Sri Zeti, who is the 46th prosecution witness in Datuk Sri Najib's trial involving the misappropriation of 2.3 billion ringgit of 1MDB funds, the task force, in which she was a member, had no knowledge of a connection between 1MDB funds and Datuk Sri Najib's bank account when it first met on June 9, 2015. When questioned by Datuk Sri Najib's lead counsel, Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdullah, she also denied the Council of Eminent Persons CEP, established on May 12, 2018, which she was a member of, was set up for the purpose of looking into 1MDB matters. Datuk Sri Najib is facing 4 charges of using his position to obtain bribes and 21 charges of money laundering involving 2.3 billion ringgit belonging to 1MDB. The trial before Judge Dr. Colin Lawrence Sequeira continues on Tuesday. In other news, Datuk Seri Najib wants to nullify his 2.28 billion ringgit One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB trial at the Kuala Lumpur High Court. He's also seeking for the court to discharge and acquit him of all 25 charges in the trial. His lead counsel, Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdullah, informed presiding judge Justice Datuk Colin Lawrence Sequeira of this on Monday. Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi said he was instructed to make the application following last month's disclosure of Justice Datuk Sequeira's past connection with former 1MDB General Counsel Jasmine Liu Aiswan, who is currently being investigated. On July 26, Justice Datuk Sequeira informed parties in the trial that he and Liu were once colleagues at a law firm. Liu is said to be an associate of fugitive financier Lo Tek Jo, or better known as Jolo.
Pada masa itu dengan hujannya, dengan petirnya.
3 pelajar terbunuh manakala 16 lagi di kuarter Malaysia tertimbus.
Ada mangsa yang tersepit.
Kerana yang terlibat ini adalah kanak-kanak. Jadi sedih sebab kita melihat.
Fail Mahkamah, Rabu 9 malam di TV3 dan stream secara HD di Tonton.
In Johor, a man was sentenced to 702 years in prison and 234 strokes of the rotan by the Muar Sessions Court after pleading guilty to 30 charges of rape and physical sexual abuse on his 2 children over the past 6 years. The 53-year-old cleaner is accused of committing the offences against his 2 children, who are now 12 and 15 years old respectively, with one of them 5 weeks pregnant. The accused faces 30 charges, 19 of which involve rape, while another 11 cases of outraging the modesty of his 2 children. He first pleaded guilty after each charge was brought before Judge Abu Bakar Manat. Judge Abu Bakar in the proceedings said there is no factor that can be considered for the punishment of the accused because the victim is his own child and one of them is already pregnant. After taking into account the accused's guilty plea, the court sentenced him to 30 years in prison and 10 strokes of the rotan for each rape charge, 10 years in prison and 2 strokes of the rotan for physical sexual assault, and an additional sentence for Section 16 of the Penal Code, which is 2 years in prison and 2 strokes of the rotan for each charge. However, the court ordered that all prison sentences be carried out concurrently, starting from the date the accused was arrested on July 10th, while the whippings were to be carried out separately. This means that the accused will only have to serve a 42-year prison sentence, but the sentence remains 234 strokes of the rotan. However, Section 288 of the Criminal Procedure Code only allows a maximum of 24 strokes of the rotan. The guardian for a 7-year-old boy allegedly abused by his mother and her friend in Pasir Gudang, Johor last Friday has yet to be determined, although the next of kin have already been identified. Women, Family and Community Development Minister Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri said the Johor Social Welfare Department had been doing background work to find out which next of kin would take care of the child in question.
Kanak-kanak itu bila keluar nanti masih dalam perbincangan untuk mencari orang yang layak dan sesuai. Memang pun sudah ada background work lah siapa yang boleh akan mengambil kanak-kanak ini, tetapi belum lagi muktamad lah, sehingga ianya bila dah keluar daripada situ barulah akan dimuktamadkan. Tetapi kerja-kerja persediaan itu sudah ada daripada JKM.
The minister spoke to the media after officiating the Kasih KPWKM Anti-Sexual Harassment Advocacy Roadshow program at the Malacca International Trade Centre, Ayokro on Monday. Datuk Sri Nancy said the boy was currently being treated in the paediatric ward of Sultan Ismail Hospital and was in a stable condition. She added that the victim was said to be traumatized as a result of the abuse, but the Social Welfare Department would provide counselling and rehabilitation to restore his confidence. On Saturday, Johor Police Chief Datuk Kamarul Zaman Mahmud said the victim's 27-year-old mother and her 30-year-old female friend were arrested on suspicion of abusing the victim in Pasir Gudang. He said that the child's mother was remanded for 6 days, while her friend was remanded for 7 days to assist investigations under the Child Act 2001. Landslides claim dozens of lives. News from the foreign front when we return. From the foreign front. Over in India, at least 41 people were killed and 13 others were either trapped or missing as heavy monsoon rains triggered floods and landslides in the Himalayan region as of Monday. According to authorities, a cloudburst in mountainous Himachal Pradesh state's Solan district on Sunday night killed 9 people in the area, while 9 more bodies were pulled out from under mud and debris over 2 landslides in Shimla. The India Meteorological Department issued a red alert for both Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand on Monday and has forecast rainfall intensity to reduce Tuesday onwards. Schools and other educational institutes had also been ordered to close and people in danger were being moved to safety in shelters. Unusually heavy rain and melting glaciers have brought deadly flash floods to the mountains of India, as well as neighbouring Pakistan and Nepal over the past year or two, with government officials increasingly blaming climate change. Indonesia's Transport Ministry is actively promoting the shift to electric vehicles in order to improve air quality, especially in urban areas like Jakarta. Transport Minister Budi Karya Sumadi highlighted that vehicles powered by fossil fuels contribute to over 50% of air pollution. The government also announced on Monday it would carry out random checks on vehicles and force drivers to undergo emission tests, as they also consider fines for those who fail and license revocation for repeat offenders. It will also require emission tests to be part of the process of obtaining a vehicle registration license, but do not say when the measures would be introduced or how they would be enforced. Last Wednesday, Jakarta was identified as the most polluted city globally, based on data from IQ Air, a Swiss firm specializing in air quality technology. In Afghanistan, at least 3 people were killed and 7 injured after a blast ripped through a hotel in southeastern Afghanistan's Khost province on Monday. The cause of the blast was not immediately clear, though the region near the border with Pakistan has long been plagued by violence between the Daesh group and their enemies. Afghanistan's Taliban-run administration has faced an insurgency by the Daesh group, who have claimed a series of deadly attacks targeting civilians, foreigners and Taliban security forces. It was believed that the Taliban is now focused on securing Afghanistan and have carried out several raids against Daesh cells in recent months. According to local media, people originally from Pakistan's Waziristan region were also among the casualties. However, Pakistan's Foreign Office did not immediately respond to a request for comment. In Pakistan, Anwar al-Haq Kakar, a politician who is believed to be close to the military, was sworn in as caretaker Prime Minister on Monday to oversee national elections as the country navigates political and economic crises. Kakar, from the southwestern province of Balochistan, is expected to name a cabinet and head a government until a new administration is elected. Earlier, he resigned as a member of Senate and from the Balochistan Awami Party, which is widely considered to be close to the country's powerful military. This somehow proves that the military continues to have a huge role behind the scenes in Pakistan. It has ruled the country directly for more than 3 decades of its 76-year existence and wields significant power in politics. Sinner earns Sports Football, the 2023 Super League. 2 more matches took place on Monday night. Selangor trounced Negeri Sembilan 4-0, while the match between Kelantan and Terengganu was delayed due to bad weather. At the Tuanku Abdul Rahman Stadium, Selangor FC opened the scoring in the 27th minute through Ghanaian striker Richmond Boyak before Aaron Devay scored the second goal in the 59th minute. In the second half, a goal each from Yohandri Orozco and Harith Haikal gave Selangor FC the 3 points to stay in second place with 46 points, 14 points behind reigning champions Johor Darul Takzim. Turning to tennis, the 2023 Canadian Open. Jannik Sinner broke new ground when he captured his first ATP Masters 1000 title after defeating Australia's Alex de Minaur in straight sets. The Italian produced a clean hitting display to earn a 6-4, 6-1 victory against de Minaur in 1 hour and 30 minutes. Sinner, appearing in his third Masters 1000 final after run-up efforts at the Miami Open in 2021 and this year, broke the Australian 5 times and saved 2 of 4 break points to lift the biggest title of his career. With his victory, the 21-year-old is the youngest champion at the Canadian Masters 1000 since then 20-year-old Alexander Zverev lifted the trophy in 2017. More to come. Police seize 7 kilograms of shabu. Don't go away. Kuala Lumpur police have uncovered a syndicate that uses luxury condominiums units as drug storage and distribution facilities with the arrest of a man in Cheras last Thursday. In a statement, Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Datuk Seri Muhammad Suhaili Muhammad Zain said the 26-year-old man, who was a storekeeper and delivery man, was arrested in an operation from 1 p.m. to 3:15 p.m. Following the arrest, police raided 2 luxury condominiums in Cheras and Semunyih Kajang and found 10 blocks of heroin base weighing 3.8 kilograms and 10 blocks of shabu weighing 10 kilograms, estimated to be worth 655,000 ringgit, and seized 10,200 ringgit in cash. It was believed that the drug trafficking syndicate had been active in the Klang Valley for the past 2 months. The investigation revealed that the suspect's main income was from drug trafficking, as he has no permanent job. He also received instructions from a local man who is currently being pursued by the authorities. The man has been remanded for 7 days until August 17th for further investigations under the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. In Sabah, police seized more than 7 kilograms of shabu while carrying out routine checks at the public jetty area in Tawau. A 22-year-old foreigner believed to be attempting to smuggle in the drugs was picked up in the raid. Tawau District Police Chief ACP Jasmine Hussein said the man carrying a white sack was behaving in a suspicious manner when he was nabbed last Tuesday. He added that it was found that the sack contained clear crystal pieces suspected to be shabu. The suspect, who had no past criminal record, has been remanded for 7 days to facilitate probe, and the case is being investigated under the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. Meanwhile, the authorities have also intensified its efforts to trace the drug distribution ring. Nightline draws to a close this time around. We leave you with visuals of the 69th edition of the famous Nehru Trophy boat race, where tens of thousands of people thronged the town of Alpuza in India's southern Kerala state. A total of 72 boats, including 19 snake boats, participated under 9 categories in this year's race to compete for the coveted trophy. I'm Nadia Azmi. Thank you for watching and have a good day ahead.